Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us here today at the Phillips Hall and the Stephen Tanger Center for the Performing Arts. If you would, please join me in thanking our great host, Ovations 360, and our food and beverage manager, Andy Juska, for another great meal this afternoon for lunch. Thank you. The Tanger Center just finished one of the most incredible weeks of our Broadway productions. The Broadway Series 6 set a new Tanger Center record for a one-week Broadway engagement, hosting 23,485, grossing $1.7 million, bringing our total attendance so far just this year to 132,000 people who've enjoyed our Broadway season and coming to downtown Greensboro. Please also join with me, if you would please, thanking our extraordinary, great marketing promotion staff led by Jenny Lanning, Jessica, Lauren, Mandy, Andrew Brown, Jack Wilson, Walker, Scott Lechner. Thank you all for your hard work and the great success that you've delivered for us for this Broadway season. We are excited today to have you with us as we unveil and think about 24-25 Broadway season with a live musical performances not by just one of the artists, but two of them today for you. So get ready for a great new program for next year that I think is going to be hard to imagine that we could top 17,000 season subscribers last year. But our good friends at Nederlander and PFM have done another extraordinary job. In fact, we believe this might be a thriller lineup of shows to hit the Tanger Center. Please now direct your attention to the video screens to see the spectacular shows coming to the Tanger Center in the First Bank Broadway 24-25 season. Season, right? The support of the Greensboro City Council has been instrumental in the success of the Tanger Center since its grand opening in 2021. Please welcome Greensboro Mayor Nancy Vaughn.
Good afternoon. We got to have the same energy that video had. Yeah. So I see Zach Matheny, City Council District 3. Am I missing any other City Council people? You never want to make that mistake. How great are these is this upcoming season? As I was reading the list, I just got more excited and more excited and more excited. I was here last night for 6. How many of you saw 6? It was a great show, and it was kind of like a rock concert, but it had a really good message at the end. So it was nice to see a lot of young women in the audience, and I think that they took that to heart. I am so thrilled of what Tanger Center has done for the city of Greensboro and downtown. And for all of you who have been donors, I want to say thank you so much for making this building a reality. To think that 130,000 people have been through this lobby so far this year alone, that is an amazing number. You know, we dealt with the naysayers for a long time. And it is so great when you can say, I told you so. And it keeps getting better and better and better. Not only these shows, but other shows that we attract through the entire season. I brought my grandchildren this year to see The Grinch. And that was such a fun way to start the season, and to have a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old to be in the Tanger Center and get to see what a world-class Broadway show looks like. You know, when I'm walking down the street and I see the number of school buses lined up around this building, I know most people are probably frustrated that it's turned into a traffic jam, but I am thrilled. I am thrilled to see that all of these students through Guilford County and other counties coming to see something in this building, that they may be exposed to something that they wouldn't normally be exposed to. So this is such an economic center for us, and it is a cultural center, and I am so thrilled to be here, and I can't wait to see these shows. And I know that you're not supposed to sing and dance, but I think when Neil Diamond, when Sweet Caroline comes on, I think it's going to be hard to keep people in their seats. It seems like whenever that music comes on, people start singing and dancing. And I have a feeling that people are going to have trouble keeping their butts in the seats with Michael Jackson and all of the rest of them. So let's just know we're going to have a great time. And I do want to take just a moment to thank Matt Brown. Matt, I know that this was your brainchild, along with Robbie Perkins, to bring this building down to downtown. And the way that you worked to make this building a reality, and the Aquatic Center and Piedmont Hall. I think most people know that we are in the process of privatizing the Coliseum complex. And the reason why we can look at doing that is because Matt and his team have given us a really, really good product. So on behalf of the city of Greensboro, Matt, I want to say thank you. I want to thank you for making Greensboro your home. This is a man who was never satisfied with the status quo. We kept moving and moving and moving, and for that, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you for the very nice comments. I would be remiss without recognizing someone who spent a great deal of time figuring out the numbers for all of us to be here today. And that's the former City Finance Director, Rick Luss. Rick, would you please stand? He was the genius behind our financial program that does not require any city taxpayer funding for this facility. We have now hit 3 years in a row of profitable money from this operation, thanks to the support of so many private donors to make this happen, and those Broadway subscribers. So thank you, Mayor, again for your nice comments. Well, we're going to have one of the first of 2 special performances for you here today. It's great that we're able, Jenny, thanks Jenny again for all the great efforts to bring these performers to us here this afternoon. Created by the Emmy-winning writer from Schitt's Creek, this hilarious new musical flips the script on the greatest love story ever told. And Juliet asks what would have happened next if Juliet didn't end up over Romeo. Get whisked away on a fabulous journey as she ditches her famous ending for a fresh beginning and a second chance at life and love her way. Please welcome today Mackenzie Meadows, who plays N. Juliet and will be performing Since You've Been Gone. Mackenzie?
My loneliness is killing me.
Juliet plunges Romeo's dagger into her heart.
What if Juliet didn't die? That should almost be the start of the play.
Hit me, baby, one more time. Since you've been gone, I can't breathe for the first time. I'm so moving on, yeah, yeah. It's my life, it's now or never. And I ain't gonna last forever. I'm just gonna live while I'm alive. I got the eye of the tiger, dancing through the fire. I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar.
You should rewrite all your plays.
You'll hear me roar.
Welcome, Mackenzie Meadows.
Here's the thing, we started out friends. It was cool, but it was all pretend. Yeah, yeah. Since you've been gone, you're dedicated, you took the time. Wasn't long till I called you mine. Yeah, yeah. Since you've been gone, and all you'd ever hear me say is how I pictured me with you. That's all you'd ever hear me say. But since you've been gone, I can't breathe for the first time. I'm so moving on, yeah, yeah. Thanks to you, now I get what I want. Since you've been gone,
Mackenzie Meadows. You can sense if you like Six, you're gonna love And Juliet, because that is women power. Nice job, Mackenzie. Thank you for being with us today. As I mentioned just briefly how this extraordinary facility could not happen without the extraordinary dedication and commitment of donors, private donors. Walker Sanders and Kathy Manning raising over $43 million to make this facility happen. It's now a model across the country of what can be done in a community. Non-taxpayer dollars, private donations, and they're all on that wall behind you. Take a minute to walk past them and thank them for their contributions to making this facility happen. Our Tanger Center Board of Directors not only helped create this facility, many of them major donors, but they celebrate our success and they help play a key role in guiding our staff to continue on and piloting us towards continued success of this, as the mayor said, such an impactful venue that has had on our downtown and our region as well. Please welcome the chairman of the board of directors of the Tanger Center, Randall Kaplan.
Thanks, Matt. And I have two jobs today. The first is I want to introduce the other members of the board that happen to be here today. If you'd stand up, that would be great. Thank you. And secondly, I just want to thank the staff of the Tanger Center and the Coliseum, obviously Matt Brown, Scott Johnson, the entire team, everybody that works here. I'll tell you, this is an incredible facility, but I think you would all agree that when you come here, it's the friendliness and the courtesy and the quality of all of the employees of the Coliseum and the Tanger Center that really makes the difference. It is always friendly and exciting every time you come. People are helpful, and we can't thank the team here enough for all you do. So let's give them a round of applause. And of course, I want to thank Matt and Scott for bringing this new season. I mean, it is pretty incredible that we open up the Tanger Center and 3 years in a row, we run profits here. And that's because they do such a great job of bringing in the kind of entertainment this city wants, and the support of all of you and the other members of the community has been fantastic. So I want to say thank you again to the team and the staff, and let's all look forward to next year's season.
Now, he's tried to negotiate coming before our next live performer, but our great sponsor, First Bank President Adam, you got to follow it afterwards. Unless Mike Mitchell and you can negotiate more money on your sponsorship, you're going to have to follow this next live performer. Created in collaboration with Neil Diamond himself, A Beautiful Noise is an uplifting true story of how a kid from Brooklyn became a chart-busting, show-stopping American rock icon. With over 120 million albums sold, a catalog of classics like America, Forever in Blue Jeans, and the mayor's favorite, Sweet Caroline. An induction into the Songwriters and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, and a sold-out concerts around the world, Neil Diamond's story was made to shine on Broadway and head out across America.
39 albums.
40 top 40 hits, 120 million albums sold.
I'm a songwriter. You know, that's all I want to do is write songs.
My first ever live performance.
How did it make you feel?
Alive.
Play it now, play it now, play it now, my baby. Crack and roll.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Chris Marsh Clark, or otherwise a very young Neil Diamond.
If you know the lyrics to this song, don't be shy. Where it began, I can't begin to know it, but then I know it's growing strong. Was in the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Hands, come on, Greensboro, let me see some hands. Touching hands, there we go. Reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would, but now I look at the night and it don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with only two. And when I hurt runs off my shoulders, how can I hurt when holding you? Warm, touching warm, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, let me hear it. Here we go. The times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would. Oh, no, no. All right, we're on our feet, and that's what I wanted to see. But we got one more chorus. I need everyone with me on the ba-ba-bas on the so good. Cool? Sweet Caroline, times never seem so good, so good, so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would. Sweet Caroline.
Chris Marsh, everyone. Thank you again, Chris. Chris, the mayor wants to know, are you available for city council meetings? No? Okay. We've talked about the pieces of the puzzle to pull things together. Support from the community, sponsorships, community support, our great friends at the CVB who contributed $10 million to make this facility happen. Critical. And Lynn Singleton taught Scott and I early on that the key success for a Broadway successful season is a sponsor who gets involved with that program and wants to be part of your program. And we've been very fortunate to have that happen with our good friends at First Bank. And I know he's still got a song he's gonna come up and do. But the poor guy's been on the podium every time after we've had great performers. So please welcome the new president of First Bank, Adam Curry.
I would say thank you, Matt, but not today. So last year, I got up here, I don't know if some of y'all were in this room, and I had to follow the genie from Aladdin. And this year, I get to follow Sweet Caroline and a standing ovation. So nothing like putting the banker up to suck the air out of the room. We are really proud to once again be the sponsor for the Broadway series. This has been such a wonderful experience for us. I look back 3 years ago, and this was not a very easy decision. It looks really easy today, and several people have noted this. This seemed like a really crazy idea when we started it. This room would not have been full with all of these people when we were sitting there in the middle of COVID trying to figure out whether to spend more money than our bank had ever spent on anything to bring Broadway to Greensboro. It has been an incredible experience. It's been really fun, and it's been really rewarding. Matt, I'd like to thank you and your team. It's been awesome. I'd like to thank the city, the public-private partnership. Nancy, I'll look at you and the city council and say more of this, right? I think Greensboro needs more of this. I think we can do more of this. I think our city will support it. We just need to get together and bring it to them, and it takes a lot of courage from a lot of people to make that happen. So thank you. I'm supposed to give a quick commercial on First Bank. We are a community bank across North and South Carolina. We have over 300 people in the triad. We have 1,500 people across North and South Carolina. They're all really excited about making this happen as well. So we're big in Greensboro, supporting Greensboro, and appreciate your support as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much again for being here, and thank you again for your First Bank sponsorship of this great Broadway season. We enjoy working with both you and John. Thank you. I think probably one of the most easiest decisions, critical decisions, and the first decisions we had to make was getting ourselves a great partner for our Broadway season, which we knew was the critical financial component to the success of the Tanger Center. And that was an easy decision to reach out to our good friends at Nederlander and PFM, who we fortunately have known for quite a few decades, actually. And they are not just bringing you this great season you're seeing here on the podiums today and on the monitors, but we're going to offer you 2 other shows besides those 7 great shows. So Nederlander has brought together also Elf, the musical, on December 10th of this year. You'll see that, enjoy that. And coming back with popular demand is the Book of Mormon. We'll be back in next April as well. So again, we could not be more proud to be a great partnership with PFM and Nederlander, and here today to speak on behalf of our Broadway partners, Nederlander and PFM, is the president and good friend of PFM, Lynn Singleton.
You have to look at it like Neil Diamond is opening for us. The mayor's comment made me smile because a couple of weeks ago we did 2 weeks of Moulin Rouge, and my house manager, who is a retired elementary school teacher, who, you know, he wants to line the crowd up like elementary kids and put them in the rows, comes to me, and the biggest complaint was people are singing along with the songs. And one of my pleasures in life is torturing him. So I said, well, Matt, you know what we should do so they get the lyrics right? Let's put the lyrics and stuff them in the program book. And then I went inside, and it was right. A lot of people were singing who should be singing. A lot of people were singing who shouldn't be singing. So, and you are going to have that with Neil Diamond. My Neil Diamond recollection is after the race where they had the explosion, the bomb. Neil and Matt and I certainly through our years did some Neil Diamond dates, and he could be very quirky and a very unusual fellow. Large personality is what I call him. He happened to be in Boston, and they had a home game, and so Neil Diamond called Fenway Park and asked to talk to the whoever was in the administrative office, and said he'd like to come over and show his support and sing a song at beginning of the thing. And the person said, "Yeah, right," and hung up on him. One comment which was made by Randall, which is very true, the devil's in the details. In this kind of business, it's kind of, you do it. And it's like pogo. If you have a problem and you've seen the enemy, it's you. And I compliment, because I notice the little things. Even though my staff tells me that I'm the software guy now, I really don't get in the operations. But I always notice the details. So today when I came in and I went over there, I said to the gentleman, could I get a cup of coffee? And rather than point, if I had been in New York at the Schubert Theater, that person would have said, "Oh, it's right over there." That person here took me and walked me over to the coffee. That's the detail that works, and that's what's expected if you run a really good building. So I compliment the staff here from the top to the bottom. So I can tell Matt's reign is almost over, because I've been coming here for 3 or 4 years, and for dessert, we always have cheesecake. So today we have chocolate cake, and I even made a special request to Ginny, and I said, "Ginny, I like carrot cake. I'm not a cheesecake person." And we got carrot cake. So I'm like, once again, the devil's in the details. A couple of weeks ago, Betty Ann, Matt's lovely wife, called me, and Matt is in, like most of us, including myself, we're in the point in our life where we're reimagining ourselves to do other things. And she was looking for my suggestions. So I said, well, now that Matt has this great in-depth knowledge of national touring Broadway, why don't we cast him in a show and let him tour? Think about that for a moment. So my ideas were, and this was the easy one, he could play Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird. Maybe more appropriate is Sweeney Todd, where the barber chops people up. Frozen, he could lead the chorus of Let It Go. Or Les Mis, Jean-Paul Jean, he could sing One More Day. Food for thought. I pulled some numbers last night, not that I'm Larry Summers, but I always like to see where the numbers are. And I sometimes say this to my board, because I've been around a long time, so I can take some liberties, even though I'm basically a hired hand. Everybody can have their own opinion, but most of the time they try to have their own set of facts, and that's what happens when buildings like this get built. But think about this. By the end of this 3rd year, you are going to gross, ticket sales-wise, $50 million. Think about that, over 3 years. You're going to do 700,000 people to see a Broadway show. 4 or 5 years ago, you were not on the Broadway map. You did not exist. It didn't happen here. And you are now on the map. It is astounding. Our reality has exceeded our dream. And not that I'm an economist, but the rule of thumb on 700,000 patrons coming to see a Broadway show because they don't eat the nachos in the building like when they go to the ACC tournament here is usually $25 to $30 million worth of direct economic benefit. So you've got a direct economic benefit of about $25 million. So I'll close with this. My mother always used to ask me what I did for a living. And I'd say, well, I kind of live in the future tense. And I deal with large personalities. And right now the future tense is what's coming down the pike. The good news is the Wizard's going to tour. They finally figured out how to tour Harry Potter. It won't be tomorrow, but I suspect Harry Potter will be huge on the road because all those little children who were standing at midnight at Barnes & Noble's, who bought books and read them, are now 30 to 40 years old. I mean, so that it's got huge demand. So we're very excited about that and making structural changes in our building to accommodate that show. I will close with this, going back to large personalities. I know many of you love Six. Who doesn't? 90 minutes long. So every guy I know loved it. My Six story is, though, we do this thing where we call it Discover PPAC, and we bring, over a period of time, every sophomore high school student in the state of Rhode Island to see a Broadway show free. We pay for the buses, and we do things like To Kill a Mockingbird. But last year we did Six, and I come into the building, and we even pay for the buses, because those costs have become problematic now. So I come into the building, and the bus is already gone. It's about 11:30, and I hear this blood scream from the auditorium. So I open the doors. 3,000 15-year-olds were watching this show. You would have thought the Beatles were on stage. And the cast was so energized. I mean, it was the word of mouth was unbelievable. We did a second week, which was a little soft to begin with. But as the word of mouth spread, that show was doing like $40,000 a day. I mean, that's rock show numbers. So that show will be touring and be around a long time. To Kill a Mockingbird, probably all of you have seen the movie with Gregory Peck, and that visual happens. And then, of course, Aaron Sorkin reimagined it and got the rights from the estate and did a play out of it. Jeff Daniels did it in New York. And then Richard Thomas is doing it on the road. And Richard is amazing. He's 72 years old, which just stunned me. And, as I was telling Scott earlier, I would say to our staff members, who were many of them much younger than me, are you coming to see John Boy in To Kill a Mockingbird? And I got this glazed look. So, To Kill a Mockingbird, it got nominated for Best Tony for Best Play. So I got invited to this VIP thing where the way the Tony votes work, there are 750 Tony voters in America. About a third of them are theater owners in New York. A third of them are folks like me, the merchant of Venice out on the road trying to sell Broadway tickets, and a third are kind of the artistic people. And so they figured they had the New York vote because it was very artistic. So, and the theater owners. So they had this, I got invited to this dinner at the Lambs Club on 44th, which I'm a poor boy from Appalachian, Kentucky. I am not white enough to be at the Lambs Club. But I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So finally one of the producers calls me and says, Lynn, this is very important. You need to be there. We've invited 30 of the most influential, blah, blah, blah. So he's blowing smoke at me to get me to come. So I said, okay, I'll come to New York. So I go to New York, and Jeff Daniels was there. Aaron Sorkin was there. Bart Shear was there. I mean, the whole 9 yards. And what they did is they had like 3 10-top tables. And then they left a place at each table where one of the people who were the invited guests who were with the show would sit. So, trying not to make a fool of myself, I go over and sit down in the corner table, and lo and behold, who sits down for the salad, because the salad would be served, and then that person would rotate, and the next person would do the main dish, was Aaron Sorkin. So I think, wow, it's my chance to be in West Wing 2. I mean, very bright man. So I'm sitting there thinking of an intelligent question to ask Aaron that I don't look like a fool. So I say, and everybody's very intimidated. And so I say, well, Mr. Sorkin, what was your inspiration to reimagine To Kill a Mockingbird and the motivation? He goes, well, had a little name tag on. He goes, Mr. Singleton, do you realize the second most owned book in every household in North America is To Kill a Mockingbird? I was like, oh, really? And then I know many of you said things as you say them, you want to take them out of the air and pull them back in. And my Southern Baptist mother, God rest her soul, is rolling over in her grave when I said, "What is the first one?" Thank you.
As always, thanks for being here, Lynn. Appreciate your continued support. Randall, just as you've mentioned many times before and recognized our staff, I'd like to everyone recognize we've got Jason, Eric, and Ian who've put together all this production. We want to thank you guys for doing a great job. Appreciate it. And just like they do for that details that you and Lynn talked about, the staff that's currently overlooking this event. You got James Smith, who does a fabulous job heading up our guest services in the back. And the event managers who oversee the event, you got Charles in the front, Emily, and Andrew, excuse me. Stand up, Charles, so we recognize all you guys in the back. Thanks a lot for being here. So I hope you've enjoyed those performances today from Adam Curry. No, I'm sorry. Chris and Meadows did a great job, and Mackenzie Meadows did a great job. But hey, we're not done yet. We've got a great couple shows coming up that I think you're going to really enjoy for the rest of our current Broadway season. Tina Turner, that show is fabulous, and you'll just walk out, you know every song she played. It's a really heartwarming story of her life, and it's done very well. You'll get a great appreciation for that. Moulin Rouge is such a great production. We're so fortunate that Lynn brought that show to us. And Lynn's comment about having To Kill a Mockingbird will end our season this year, so please tell everyone who's not fortunate enough to have a season subscription, get out, buy the last few tickets available for either Tina or Moulin Rouge or for To Kill a Mockingbird. But as always, thank you very much for your support of the Broadway season of the Tanger Center and all of us in the city of Greensboro. Thank you for being here today.